Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. Welcome back to another video. Okay, you guys, it is not the day after Friendsgiving, but it's the Monday after Friendsgiving. Friendsgiving was on Saturday, and we've got to do a little bit of cleaning around the house. But before that, and I'm going to the gym, I've got to get some dinner on. So I just thought you guys want to hang out with me while I do a little dinner and we do a little cleaning. Got to get my tripod, y'all. You know you got to go on the tripod, right? Okay. Let me put you guys on a tripod and share with you what I'm cooking. Okay, I'm going to do pork chops for dinner. So I've got to clean first. So I'm not going to cook before I clean. But I'm going to take the pork chops out to let them rest a little bit. Okay. We like a bone-in pork chop. So I got these over at Food Lion. So I'm going to take these out and just let these rest for a second before I get them all seasoned up. But we are going to... I've got to get my house back in order. It's semi in order, but not Shakema in order, right? So I am going to clean off all the counters, put all of the big stock pot back. I actually end up using my canning pot, which is the biggest thing that I had. I need to clean out the coffee station and then just put a few things back together, right? So I thought you guys might want to come along with me while I did a few things. And then I'm going to jump in and cook these porkity chops. Before I jump into my cleaning, I'd just like to thank today's sponsor, Comfee, for sponsoring today's video. They sent us a toaster oven air fryer, and we were so excited to be able to get this. You know, we do a lot of things after school, and between sports, my extra things that I have going on, sometimes we need to cook really quick meals. Having a new air fryer that cooks ultra fast will help us in the long run be able to get meals on the table in a reasonable hour or a reasonable amount of time. And you know, I gotta have a praise break in the kitchen. I mean, this is what we do over here. So I'm just doing a little bit of light cleaning before I jump into my kitchen. I always like to start with a fresh slate. Of course, my son doesn't think about that. He's a culinary kid, but I'm trying to figure out what type of cleaning habits they have going on. But hadn't figured that out quite yet. But for me, I need to clean my kitchen before I do anything else. So that is what I'm doing, and I'm just getting some of these leftover things that I didn't get a chance to finish after Friendsgiving. I was wiped out from that particular event. So some things didn't get done, but I'm just going to go ahead and wash out this crock pot. This is where we, of course, had our hot apple cider. And yes, the guard dogs are on duty. So anywho, I want to thank Comfee for sponsoring today's video. They sent us their toaster oven air fryer. This has Flashwave ultra rapid heat technology. It is also a convection toaster oven, and it sits on our countertop. We do appreciate having tools that help us to maintain the lifestyle that we live, which is busy, as well as you know, just doing all the things that we need to get done. This toaster oven, convection oven, does come with several different trays. This is the baking tray where we're going to use to make the pork chops. So I went to the gym. I'm back from the gym now, and I'm going to make a topping for the pork chops. I'm going to do that first before I put the pork chops on. All right, let me grab... I got cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. So I'm gonna, and I have this. Oh Lord, this is Child, don't get me the line. Okay. This is 28% alcohol. Now, y'all know I don't drink, but I'm using this for the dessert. It's not a dessert. For the topping for the pork chops. Okay. And I don't have alcohol in my house. Y'all, I had to call my neighbor. Say, hey, neighbor, by any chance, would you just have a tiny little bit? I just need a tiny little bit for the topping for the pork. And we actually used some of this in a different dessert that we made. Jackson used half of it, and he saved half. So I do not use alcohol, which is my preference. If you do, live your best life. But I'm gonna get this topping started, and then we're gonna season up the pork. Okay, so I have 1 can of peaches. This is just from Food Lion. It's not peach season, so for everybody who says you should be using real peaches, it's not peach season. So using what we got, and I didn't can any, so this is what I have. I'm gonna keep the juice. These are halves, so I'm gonna keep the juice in here, and I'm dumping the whole can in. Okay. Wipe my hands. Make sure I don't have stuff all over the stove, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put some cinnamon, some vanilla, I'm not a huge fan of nutmeg, but I'll use some in this dish. And there's no measurements here. You just have to, you know, my grandmother never measured. She just felt. And when it was right, it was right. Okay. All right. I'm just going to let that come to a nice boil. And then I'm going to add in the rest of this so we can get rid of this out of the house. And then I'm going to add a little bit of sugar too. I only have white sugar, and I wasn't going to go buy brown sugar just because. And we actually used some brown sugar for Friendsgiving, the last little bit that I had. So I'm just going to use some of this white sugar and call it a day. Probably 1/4 of a cup if you're measuring. All right, I'm going to let that do its thing. I'll watch it, but I got to go get the pork chops started. I've got pork chops. These are bone-in. These are what we prefer when we do chops. Jackson, will you get Mom a bowl or a plate so I can put these in? Now, some people are team wash your meat. Some people are team no wash your meat. I'm just going to rinse my meat because my grandmother rinsed her meat. If you don't want to rinse your meat, don't. But I want to rinse my meat to get any residue off. I just rinse my meat. Quickly now, though. Okay, there are 5 or 6 pork chops here. They're thick pork chops, so a nice good thickness.
Are you know the peaches?
Why you gotta be over here bothering me, young sir? No, you're trying to be in my business because you're gonna try to culinary arts me. Do not. Don't come over here trying to culinary arts nobody. Mind your business and let me do what I'm doing. I'm gonna put some in there in a minute, but not right this second. Because I don't have any cornstarch. Huh? What I want to make. All the good things. And you got that done. Anybody tell you to go out there and run like you was somebody? I know you are, and you're doing great. I'm proud of you. Give that to Mom. Come here, Mom. Mama. Mama. Well, I was trying to give it to you, but you don't want to cooperate. Okay, Brenda. Let me clean out this sink. Because I have had meat in here. Clean that out. All right, I'm gonna season this how I like it, which is a little bit of garlic powder. There's 6 chops in here, so I gotta make sure that I season liberally. This is chili powder. Now lately I've been getting my spices off the international aisle. They're just a little bit cheaper. I've got some salt. Onion powder. Y'all make sure she goes out. Brenda Ann, I see you. You have been seen. And a little bit of black pepper. Now those are the spices we like, so that's what we use. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on this. Tiny bit, just to make sure nothing sticks. I'm just gonna mix all of this together to make sure that everything is nice and seasoned, right? Very good, okay. Brenda, Ann, and Bridget do not come in this kitchen.
Oh, press start.
Start. It's preheating. Okay, while our air fryer is preheating, we're gonna finish off these peaches. Well, we're gonna add in this stuff right here. My neighbor said he didn't really have anything. These are just like airplane things. I was happy to get whatever because, you know, I don't use this as a general rule. I will use a little cooking wine from, you know, here, there. Oh, Lord, you smell that right there. My God. But we're going to let this cook. Of course, that alcohol is going to cook off, right? So we're going to let this cook off. And we're going to come back and thicken this up. But this is cooking nicely. I wish you could smell it because it smells amazing. But we're going to get those pork chops in the air fryer because we want to make sure that we're able to have a nice, good meal. We just got back from the gym. And so we're putting some rice on. And then we're going to put our pork chops in the air fryer. Okay, so now our preheating is done. So if you look at this, I just want to show you this on this air fryer. They have a pizza setting, toast, bagel, broil, reheat, sear crisp, air fry, air roast, a rapid bake, and a dehydrate. So we can use this as a dehydrator as well. So we have the temperature where you can change that. You've got your function button where you can change it. The light you can see inside. And then here is your start or your pause button. I do like another option for dehydrating because sometimes I'm trying to dehydrate multiple things at a time. But what we're going to do is go ahead and get these pork chops in and get them started. is this?
Spaghetti.
Huh?
Spaghetti.
It's mine.
I like spaghetti.
What? I told her, I said, watch Jackson try to eat my pecans.
It'd be our pecans.
Oh, right. Ours. That I'll never get any of.
I'm only gonna put it in the ice cream bars.
Look at that, liven it up, Jack. Look at that. You need probably another one. Empty that juice out. Father, Father, there's too many of you. Brother, brother, brother. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, y'all. We did this one on sear crisp. Look at that. Look at that. See that brown? Look at that. See that? That pork chop is nice and pork chopped. Very good. Oh yeah. Here is another piece. All nice and cooked. Oh Lord Jesus, I'm about to eat this. Ow, it's hot. Okay. I'm gonna take these out because we still have 2 more to cook. So we did 4. It took us 7 minutes on the sear crisp setting. So we're gonna take these out and we're gonna get the other 2 in and we're gonna plate these up so that we can eat dinner. Seven minutes is not any time at all. I mean, I was doing 2, 3 other things while these were in here cooking. So 7 minutes is an excellent amount of time. Okay, these are some pretty long ones this time. So there's only 2 left. We're gonna plate up these other chops. All right, so I'm gonna serve a plate. I'm just gonna do a little rice. I did weights so I could have some rice. I'm gonna do a pork chop because pork chops are done. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this peach along with the peach glaze, and that's gonna go on top of the pork chop. Now normally what I would do with a pork chop is I would go ahead and put barbecue sauce on it, but this is gonna be just as good, right? And that's gonna be our meal for this evening. So we wanna thank Comfee for sending us that toaster oven. It has a lot of great features. There's gonna be a link in the description box below if anybody is interested in that oven. You can check it out there. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Y'all, can you hear the pork chopping? Because the sizzle is real, okay? The sizzle is real. We're hungry, we're gonna eat so we can get ready for bed because we gotta do it again all over again tomorrow. But again, thank you so much for stopping by. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and we'll see you guys next time. Bye now.